It was just after midnight when the beast collapsed at the clinic entrance. Its body was enormous, misshapen, and bleeding onto the cold pavement, the blood steaming in the night air. People who saw it froze. Someone shouted that it wasn't an animal. Someone else said it wasn't their problem. The doors of the clinic stayed shut as the creature, using one broken limb, dragged its massive frame inside. Its breath was a wet, uneven sound that filled the sterile room with a palpable fear. Long before any words were spoken, the alien vet on duty that night took an instinctive step back. All his training screamed danger. This wasn't a known species. It wasn't registered life. Protocol was clear, absolute, and demanded refusal. He said treatment was not allowed, his words sharp and final. But the beast, instead of roaring or threatening, simply lifted its head. Its eyes weren't filled with rage, but with a deep, undeniable pain. Eat. Ghost waited. That's when the human vet arrived, late for his shift, still wearing his coat damp from the rain. He stopped dead when he saw the creature. Every instinct screamed at him to stay away. The beast was easily large enough to kill him without effort. Its claws twitched as damaged nerves misfired, and a dark pool of blood grew beneath it. The alien vet repeated his refusal, louder this time, almost desperate. The human vet didn't answer him. The beast tried to stand, its massive body convulsing before it collapsed again. A low sound escaped its throat, not a growl, but a sound of pure exhaustion. That's when the human vet moved. He walked forward slowly, his hands open and visible. His voice was soft when he spoke, a near whisper. "Easy, buddy." The words cut through the tension like a blade through silk. The beast reacted instantly. Its muscles, one spasming, locked into a tense stillness. Its ragged breathing slowed just enough to be noticeable. The alien vet stared in disbelief. That phrase, "easy, buddy," held no meaning in any known language, yet the creature understood the intent. The fear in its eyes soft, replaced by a flicker of focus. Ignoring the blood that was already soaking through his pants, the human vet knelt beside it. He gently began to examine the wounds. One limb was shattered. It was clear several organs were failing. The biology was all wrong, completely alien, and yet strangely familiar. Pain, he knew, behaved the same way in any living thing. He whispered again, "Easy, buddy, stay still." The beast trembled, but obeyed. Without approval, without protocol, treatment began. The alien vet protested, then fell silent, watching in a state of shock. He watched the human vet improvise, using whatever tools he could find. Pressure was applied to stop the bleeding. Makeshift splints stabilized shattered bone. Fluids were introduced into veins that, be all rights, shouldn't have even existed. Each step was deliberate, and each quiet whisper seemed to keep the beast anchored to consciousness. Time lost all meaning. There was only the light of the clinic and the sound of breathing. At one point, the beast cried out as a sharp fragment was removed from a wound. The human vet didn't flinch or pull away. He just repeated, steady and calm, "Easy, buddy." The beast pressed its head against the floor and endured. Slowly, the signs of imminent death began to fade. The creature's breathing deepened and steadied. The violent tremors eased into more controlled movements. It wasn't a guarantee of safety, but it was a chance at survival. The alien vet finally broke the silence. "This shouldn't be possible," he said, his voice barely audible. Without looking up from his work, the human vet replied, "Pain doesn't care about species." When the long work was finally over, the human vet sat back, utterly exhausted. The beast opened its eyes fully for the first time. It looked directly at him, and there was no fear left, only a silent understanding that needed no translation. Just then, security arrived, their voices loud, shouting orders. The human vet stood up, deliberately, placing himself between the recovering creature and the armed officers at the door. His voice was steady as he said, "It's under my care." The officers hesitated. In that moment, the rules felt thin and fragile. The beast rose slowly, testing its repaired limb. It stood the monument of resilience, despite its injuries. It turned toward the exit, but before it left, it lowered its massive head in a gesture that could only be interpreted as respect. The human vet said nothing. He didn't need to. As the doors closed behind the creature, the first light of dawn began to creep through the windows. The bloodstains on the floor remained. Protocol would be rewritten by morning. Reports would be filed, and arguments would surely follow. But one simple truth remained untouched. A life that had been labeled a beast was treated as living. Fear had been replaced by action, and a cold, hard refusal had been undone by a simple whisper. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like and subscribe for more.